Welcome to the 14th video in this series about using Unix tools. Today I'll show you how to use PuTTY's psftp tool to transfer files between Windows and Unix. In a previous video I showed you how to use a tool called psftp to copy a single file between systems. However, there will be times when you want to copy a directory or folder, or when you would like to copy multiple files. And the psftp, PuTTY Secure File Transfer Protocol, tool is made just to do that. Don't worry, if you installed PuTTY, you already have psftp, since it, like pscp, is bundled with PuTTY. Like pscp, the psftp tool we're going to learn today runs in a cmd.exe terminal window on your Windows machine. As long as you have reasonable file names, everything will be easy. If you have spaces or brackets or parentheses or something like that in your file name, things will not work well. It is best to ensure the file names you use for Unix are reasonable. Okay, let's open a command window. There we go. And we need to find a place we're going to store these files. So I'm going to go into a directory here where I usually store things. And then on the Unix machine in our PuTTY window, I need to take a look and find the files that I want to store. Here they are, and you notice there are a lot of files, so using pscp to copy them one at a time would take too much typing, and I want everything in that K directory. So that's why we need this new to us tool, psftp. If you remember, every time we connect to a Unix machine, we need four things. We need the port number, we need the IP or host name, we need the username, and we need a password. We used all of those every time we connect, and we're going to use them again right now. psftp, and then we specify the port number. And then we give the username with an @ sign, and you can use an IP or a host name if it's in DNS. That's it. Don't put the password yet. Just press enter. And then it will ask you this "Are you sure?" message. I always say no because I don't like to cache it. But if you say yes, it will remember it and not ask you next time. Finally, you'll get this password prompt, and it tells you I need the password for the John user on that machine. And once you do that, you'll get this psftp prompt, and it tells you you're in the home John directory on the remote, not this one, the remote machine. Well, that's not where we want to be. We need to be in home John outgoing. So we'll go to the outgoing directory, and you may wonder, how did I know to use CD? Well, it's a good guess, but you can also type help and it will list the commands, and CD is change your remote working directory. Okay, so if we want to transfer files from the remote machine to the local machine, we use either get or mget. Let's get some help on the get command. And it says downloads a file. If -r specified, recursively fetch a directory. I told you it earlier, I want to get the entire directory K with everything in it. So this is the right command. We'll do a get -r K. And if we do that, you can see it's downloading files. And it tells you the remote location and the local location. The remote path is a full path all the way from the root directory. The local is a relative path, and it says inside K, I'm going to store the file here. So it copies from the remote to the local. To exit this psftp tool, now that we're done transferring files, we type bye. Bye-bye. Okay. Let's use the right command here. Let's do a dir with the newest files last, and you'll see K is at the bottom of the screen. If we go into K and we take a look, you'll see the same files we have here. Let's check a file size just to be safe. So if we look at number 0170, we see 97028872. And if we come over here, we're going to see 970288872, like we should. So we can feel confident that we've transferred the files. That transfers from the remote to the local using the get with the recursive flag. Why would you need to transfer a whole folder? Why not just make an archive and then use psftp, which we already know? Well, you can see these are already compressed. So if you recompress the compressed files, it will be too huge. And you'd have to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 megabytes free, which you may not have. Now, let's do something really stupid. Let's use our remove force recursive to delete that directory K and everything in it. Oh no, how do I copy the files back? Because if I look, the files in K, they're gone. We use the same tool with the same command line options, and then we need to type in the password. And go to the right directory. And that's where we want to be. At this point, you may not know where you are on the local machine, on the Windows machine. So you can do an LPWD and it says I'm inside K. So we need to back up one directory with a local CD up one. And now we're in the parent directory of K on the local machine. Let's take a look at the commands, and you can see if we had get, we have put. And put will transfer from the Windows machine to the remote machine. And it has a -R option as well. So let's put -RK, and this should copy the folder K and everything inside it recursively to the Unix machine. And it takes a little time because each of those is 98 megabytes or so, those tar files. Let's try our command again on the server. Oh, look, K exists. And if we go inside K and we look at those files, and then we say bye here, and we take a look at these files. Let's look at number 18. You can see the size should be 97,239,980. And there it is, 97,239,980. It's the same. So we successfully copied the files back after we deleted them, perhaps by mistake. You have now learned, I hope, how to transfer files, a whole folder or a whole directory of files from Unix to Windows or from Windows back to Unix. If you have a single file, psftp is too much, and you can use pscp from video number 13. But if you need to move a whole folder, this is the right tool. Thank you for listening.